Hello Libras, this is your reading for March 2017. There's no particular spread. I just lay out the cards. I feel like I get a better read off of them that way. And for your first card I pulled and the second card, each time two cards fell out. So when I pulled clarifiers at the bottom, I pulled one for each one, okay? The first card you got is Five of Wands upright. So it tells me that you're in some kind of competition. But it's not like trying to think of it. It's not like a fight to the death. It's, pretty friendly, okay? It's probably in the work environment. I do see this as a work reading, okay? So if you're looking for love, I'll look for what I can or try to see what you can in it. But right now I just see business. Okay, so with this Five of Wands, it's just you're having a competition. It's kind of like a sport. This talks about being diligent, having a new desire and being bold, and just kind of, you've been working really hard. You've been gritting your teeth and you've just been working. But there could be some kind of a creative conflict with somebody that you work with or somebody that you're going to school with. Because this talks about there could be some clashes with someone. And for love, it could be you're clashing with your partner and you're breaking up. But because this is like fake fighting, it's not real. You see, they're just holding up their sticks. They're not actually trying to knock anybody down, okay? So that's a good thing, right? You would think so. But this says just make sure that somebody, like a partner at a job or partner in a relationship, make sure they have true intentions and don't just make snap judgments, okay? Also, it says, sort out different areas of your life so you don't take it with you. And you'll move past a conflict to be stronger. If you're looking for love, it's going to come when you're truly ready. But I mostly see this for work. So there's a creative conflict with someone. That could be, it's like a fight, but you have to pretend like you're not fighting, kind of like a sneaky fighting. So to clarify that, I got Five of Wands upright again from a different deck. So it's definitely what's happening with you, okay? There's just some kind of competition going on, and I think it's with work because it's talking about struggling for riches and fortune and gaining gold. But in this work environment, or possibly in a relationship, we got the King of Cups in reverse, okay? So this tells me that your needs aren't being met and it's not a peaceful time. So this fake fighting, looks like you're pretending not to fight, but you pretty much are, okay? It's not a really good time. Could be depressed and you're running from problems. Like you're not really fighting, but you should be. Somebody could be emotionally manipulative. There's some kind of injustice going on. I think it's funny that we have injustice going on here because your card, Libra, is the Justice card. But there's some kind of injustice. There's a rogue person among you, somebody who's dishonest, and it's creating scandal. And this usually means a dishonest man. But however, since this is a general reading, gender doesn't matter. But it may be a dishonest man for some of you. And this person, if it's you or not, I'm not sure. They're just repressing a lot of things. They're not sure about their motives, or they know, but they're just denying it. Somebody may have some kind of an agenda against you and they deny it. They're trying not to, but they really do. That person's running from himself. He's just false, okay? To clarify that, I got the Six of Cups in reverse. Six of Cups in a work reading usually means somebody who's been at the job for a long time, okay? But it also talks about a past lover returning, okay? But basically, I think you've been naive about this fake fighting because it's in reverse. And it says that you're going to get freedom to move on and don't be stuck in the past. And you may maybe just like a little unrealistic about what's going on. If it is somebody that says you could reconcile with them from your past, maybe it's a friend, okay? Like maybe in the past you had a friend who was kind of like a frenemy, and they were just a false person. And then maybe they come back and apologize because they realize they were the King of Cups. And then you guys reunite and you get together and just kind of go over your past memories. But for work, this means somebody, like a coworker at the job who's been there a while, they're your frenemy, and they don't want you to be there. Moving on, we get your card, Justice, and it's upright. So this lets me know, this is definitely for you, not like for some random sign. Not that I would think that would happen, but it's saying that you're accepting responsibility for something and you want justice. Okay, and you may actually get it. It says you'll be victorious, there'll be equality, you're being objective. But it says you need brutal honesty. So, here we have, your intellect, and then we have emotion and intuition. So you're balancing those, but it's time for a decision. Okay. If you're seeking love, this says you're going to seek real love. Basically, you're unable to change any events that have happened, whether it's in love or the work environment. And it says you're going to advance when you start understanding the past. Okay. And that may be why this person you reconcile, you start understanding what happened in the relationship. Or if you just start understanding, like, hey, this person at work is really my frenemy. If I can understand that, then I'm going to be able to advance. I'm not going to be unrealistic or naive. But it's time for a decision, okay? Be objective, because you're probably going to become a new person. And maybe you just don't really know, like, how good you are at your job. Or you don't know how much you're worth, and so you settled for a relationship in the past. Or you've settled for a job that, somebody there doesn't know your worth. Could be a boss. To clarify that, we got 3 of Pentacles. This talks about teamwork, okay? Or it can just talk about a union, okay? So if you're wanting to get with somebody, you could. At work, it's talking about joining a team or joining a job. So you may really want to join a job. But this also talks about, if you've seen the pictures before of the Universal Tarot, it may say, you get your self-esteem from your job, and you might feel judged. Because in the other picture, there's 2 people, and they're watching the guy use his skills. So, he's good at his job, and so you're good at your job, and you get your self-esteem from it. And, just as you're, doing your best, or you're hanging up your awards, somebody's coming and they're judging you. I think it's this King of Cups person. Then the next card that fell out was 7 of Cups upright. So this tells me there's a lot of options and there's a lot of potential. And you're gonna attract success because of who you are and how good you are at your job. But it just talks about something's amiss. If it's with lovers or with coworkers, something's off. It's wrong. It's not right. At least not fully right. And then if it's dating, you just have a lot of choices. Okay. Just looking at all the cards, seeing what I got. I think I'll pull some more clarifiers later, but see, I mostly get this for love. But maybe you have a lot of choices when it comes to getting a job and you don't really know. You need to make a decision about where you want to work. Or you need to make a decision about leaving a job and picking another job. But since it's upright, you're not deceiving yourself. That's good. You're not deluded anymore. If you got, clear-headed and you realized what's going on, you're clear-headed now and you're like, well, maybe I'm just going to leave this job, or maybe I'm going to leave this relationship. I'm not going to settle anymore. I realize that I'm worth something. I'm getting my self-esteem back from my job. I'm worth something. I'm not settling, whether it's for love or a job. But to clarify that, we got the World in reverse. And this is ruled by Saturn, so it's usually like scholarly things, work, success, long-term planning. So that's why I think this is mostly about work, because almost every card in here seems to talk about work. But if you notice, the earth sign and the fire sign aren't looking at the woman in the middle, but the water and the air signs are. Okay, so be looking out for somebody who's a water or an air sign. Could be a fellow Libra, over here. Okay. If you're trying to decide between a water sign and an air sign, it doesn't really say which one, but maybe that's what you're trying to decide between. Maybe you're trying to pick something that you're passionate about, or something that really hones in on your emotions. See, normally this is about victory. And I'm not saying you're not going to have a victory. It may be that you're successful, like you made that choice. You're successful, and then it's just kind of anticlimactic. Not that you're not grateful, it's not everything that you thought it was going to be. And then if you did work really hard to get through school, and you graduated, and you joined a team, and then here is the culmination of it. Here it's this is why I went to school all this time for this job. And so then maybe you're trying to decide to go somewhere else or do a different career. It says if you did succeed with something, that it's almost like you found out something else that you're going to have to do. There's one more hurdle. But don't give up, because you're almost there. Okay? You're almost complete, just not yet. And this also could just be your world got turned upside down. Maybe you chose a job or you left a job and then your world turned upside down. If it's about love, maybe there were 3 people involved and you were trying to make a decision whether to leave this person, or because you didn't really know your worth and you've settled, or somebody was dishonest or unfaithful to you, represented by the 3 of Pentacles. Because I do see that a lot for unfaithfulness, and it's really mostly a work card. And then somebody had too many options, and it could have been you or the other person. And whatever happened, it turned your world upside down. Maybe you weren't chosen. If it's love, maybe somebody came back and they're like, hey, let's get together, and you just kind of settled, and it didn't work out. So you're like, man, why did I even give it a chance? Because this talks about a distorted self-perception. It could be body issues, it's something. Because remember, you don't know your own worth. And see here, this means you don't have options, but you really do, you just don't know it. Okay, you're very successful, you're very attractive, you attract success everywhere you go. So I'm not sure what the self-esteem issue is about. And if this is about a job or even a relationship, it was anticlimactic. You thought, I did all this work and this is what I get. It's just I was wanting something more. So this could mean that you feel trapped, obligated or trapped by duty, whether it's for a job or a relationship. And this long-held dream that you've had just kind of lost its appeal. It's just not what you thought it was going to be. Or because you have this obstacle, maybe you're kind of losing your willpower to keep doing it. Because do I really want to do this extra hurdle to get there? And, this says to keep going. And it also talks about fleeting success. So here are the 3 of Pentacles. You're very successful at your job. You have good skills. So you got success. And then it's somebody comes in and judges you, and all of a sudden you've lost your success. It was fleeting. You couldn't hold on to it. It was slippery. It's not that you're not able to. It's just you lost the chance. It could have been a promotion, could have been an award, could have been a competition with others at a job. Or you didn't get the job. They said somebody else got the job. They had more whatever for you. And so you're like, oh, okay, you know, I really thought I was going to get it, but now they're telling me, well, you need a little bit more education, or you need this. Somebody else had this and you didn't. So there's like one more thing you need to do, or one more thing you need to have. But this says don't give up, because, you know, if you do that, you're going to be there, you're going to get it. And even though you've lost this success or this opportunity, it says there's going to be another opportunity in the future. Okay? So it's a good thing. This also says return to judgment. Now, we don't have judgment in here, but this says to go back to it. Judgment talks about transforming. There was some kind of decision made, and you were shown to have some kind of a weakness. And it could be that you just didn't see yourself in the right light. Because, you know, whatever you see yourself as, that's how other people are going to see you too. That's what you project. And again, this talks about, if you're going back to judgment, you could have settled for an abusive relationship. Maybe you didn't weigh the pros and cons, or you did, and you just decided to settle. But basically, there needs to be some kind of a resurrection or a recovery, an awakening somehow. Like, there should be a deliberation. And then get free to be happy. It also talks about, you know, you could have had poor judgment on something. Like, you had all these choices and you didn't make the right choice. It could have been to settle. Maybe you stayed at the job you were at and you should have left. Okay? Because then you lost some kind of success because somebody had some kind of agenda against you. When the Five of Wands is with this card, it talks about, like, your purposes aren't crossing. So you're kind of at odds with somebody. You have different purposes for what you do, and so you're not integrating them. And if it's for a relationship, then you guys just aren't seeing eye to eye. This also says don't rest on your laurels. Don't rest on your success, okay? Because you're not just going to have one success. You got to keep going to keep and stay successful. And maybe you kind of rested after you got this job thinking that was it. And it could just be, you know, you were successful, you got some position you did want, and then everything was just kind of normal. Nothing was climactic. You know, there wasn't this big, huge climax like you would expect. And so something just lost its appeal. I mean, that's for some of you. There's a lot of different meanings, so I'm trying to give you everything I can. Yeah, that's what I see for that. I mean, it could be that this obstacle that you have is really an opportunity in disguise. Okay? Just something's incomplete. You could be insecure, and that's why you're settling. And also, if you know somebody took your awards away because they were judging you, that could really make you insecure, and you already don't feel very good about yourself, even though you're really good. So just go back to judgments. Look at some of the choices you made and see if there's something you could do differently now. Next card you got, Five of Cups in reverse. This tells me there's some news coming that, you know, yeah, you're looking at these things you lost, but there's still stuff behind, okay? But you're not looking at those, or maybe you're going to start looking at those things that are left. Again, talks about, you know, return of an ex-lover. Sorrow's over. There's going to be some unfinished business that will be settled. You'll build bridges with people. Your troubles will end. And just an overall renewal and happy feelings. Okay, so this is good. Then we got Nine of Pentacles, upright. So if it's about a relationship, the way you're going to reconcile is by being happy while you're independent and successful. I see there's a culmination. So normally this is the culmination of something, but it didn't really work out. And so you're going to reconcile with somebody. Your troubles are going to be ending. You're going to get some good news. Like, remember, you're going to have another opportunity. And I think that's when it's coming up. Okay? So there's some news coming. Your troubles are going to end. And then, ta-da, culmination. Okay? So I told you it's coming back, right? And then this talks about, you know, restrain yourself. You know, if somebody is acting, in distaste, you're going to restrain yourself. You're going to be poised. You're going to be graceful. You're going to have tact and just be diplomatic with someone, whether it's a relationship or not. And you're going to celebrate your accomplishments. You're going to reach your goal. And when you reach that goal, it's going to protect you from troubles. Basically, you're going to be independent. You're going to be grateful and even have like money and luxury. And you're going to enjoy the good life. Okay. Then the very next card is a Six of Wands in reverse. So this means like your love life and your work life could be mixed together, but not necessarily. And I don't like to see this card because it talks about, fear and treachery, and there's an enemy at your gate. So it's almost like this person kind of like was giving you trouble, but they were hiding it. And then you're trying to make a decision. Somebody came in and judged you and they took your rewards away, but you did something and you got it back. And then bam, it's happening again. So I think maybe you settled for a bad environment and things got better, but then, or they're going to get better, but then they're going to get worse again. Because it's in reverse, and this is like there's like an enemy, and just keep a low profile. If for some reason there's a love situation at your work, it says it's gonna be awkward, and it's just gonna be temporary. So don't even worry about getting a relationship at your job. Just don't even think about it. But it also talks about waiting some more delays, just like the world had. So you get this culmination, and then there's like more delays, more setbacks. And the atmosphere is it's still bad, and it's draining you. And it's going to take a lot longer than you expected for things to get better. Somebody could be cheating you, okay? Somebody's disloyal, and I don't think it's you. I think it's whoever this is that's bringing judgment against you with the Three of Pentacles. See, that makes me think of a work job, Then again, this could represent resting on your laurels. Because see, he's victorious, and he's got his laurels, and then it's a lot like the world, okay? And then somebody rested on their laurels. They got another achievement, and then they stopped working, and it kind of worked against them. Trying to see if the world interacts with this, though. I know it works with the Five of Wands. With Five of Wands, it talks about, not integrating purposes. Then you come to Six. So I think maybe you still aren't integrating your purposes with somebody. And so it's led to this defeat. To clarify that, we got Five of Cups. So first you had it in reverse. And then you had some culmination, some success. And then something wasn't integrated very well and kind of rested on your laurels, and there was a defeat. And there's also some treachery going on. And then you get Five of Cups upright, which talks about melancholy, hurt by a betrayal, hurt by a loss. And that's what I think about with Six of Wands in reverse. It says you're going to have to be honest with yourself. Use this pain as a catalyst to grow. And you've gained some wisdom, like something remains behind. It's like the exact opposite of what you got earlier. And any illusions that you had are now your obstacles. And if you weren't sure about this person being your enemy, well, maybe you thought they were your friend, and now that's an obstacle for you because you realize they weren't. But all isn't lost, okay? Everything's happening for a reason, but there may be some mistakes you're making at work, and it's affecting your work life. If it's about love, then this talks about, not reconciling, not building bridges. There's no good news. But, you're gaining wisdom, and you're just going to use this to help you grow, okay? So let's pull some clarifiers, because I don't like to end on a sad note. Because I think there's always something you can do. Nothing's set in stone. So rather than just go, oh, well, it's useless anyway, let's go ahead and give up. That's not always the case. Every action you take can change. Okay, so we have the Chariot in reverse. This is my card. So it talks about law or quarreling or disputes or defeat. Okay. You're not loving yourself. So if this is about self-perception, all this defeat has really gotten to you and you're not loving yourself. But see, with Libra, you need to become a new person, okay, with that Justice card. Or you want to become a new person, possibly. And you're being very timid, and you feel like there's no protection for the future. And you want somebody to come and be your hero and save you, and you want people to adore you, but you're not getting it. And you don't think you're good enough. And this says you may want to make it on your own, but you're having trouble. Let's clarify what this Five of Wands competition is. Two of Pentacles in reverse. So it's about balance. And also, there's a message coming in about a trouble or an obstacle. It's probably written news, like an email, a text, snail mail possibly. With the King of Cups, it talks about, and with Justice, so with the King of Cups and Justice, which you have both, you're going to avoid a financial disaster. So yay, great, good to know. But yeah, your business could be causing you trouble in your love life. Like you have to choose between yourself, like loving yourself and something else. But there's a delay. And you may there's like a forced happiness, like a false happiness, which could be represented by like the false fighting. Like you're pretending to fight, but you're trying to make it like it's sport, and it's not. It's really like a fight to the death, but you guys are just putting on this false happiness. Like, no, we're friends, and you're really not. But this talks about you don't have to worry about money, but it also says help's not coming. I don't like that. And if you are having trouble, it looks like the trouble's not averted unless it's a financial disaster. And then it's averted. And also, you're not stopping to smell the roses. You're very, very busy. You could be overworked. Because 5 plus 5 would give me the 10 of Wands, and that would be overwork. But also, that means somebody's sneaky. Because you have 2 5 of Wands cards, and 5 plus 5 is 10. You know, I'm a teacher, so I know these things. Not like I'm like some all-knowing person, because I know one doubles equation, but I just like to put in there that I'm a teacher because I love being a teacher, and it helps you guys get to know me more, so you feel more comfortable with my readings and whatnot. So let's clarify this King of Cups. Who is this King of Cups? I doubt it's you. 7 of Wands. Okay. So with this King of Cups who's just running from themselves and they're not your friend, 7 of Wands says you don't really know where you stand with them, because, I mean, they're like your frenemy. You don't really know where you stand. Like you have uneven footing because you're wearing 2 different shoes. It could be about, you know, like lack of self-esteem, because if you don't have self-esteem, you don't really know where you stand in general. You don't know yourself. You don't know how good you are. But you're battling, you're struggling. It says don't give up. Keep pushing because you're close, okay? You're king of the hill. You're being defensive. Again, it talks about competition and challenges. And you're going to be successful from past efforts. And you need to persevere and be assertive. You know, don't relax just yet. Don't relax on your laurels. Don't relax. And I hate to say that because, I mean, I'm a big fan of having the easy life if you can, but just yet, don't do it, okay? And you really want to be successful. But you're also not confronting something head on. And I think it's this person. We clarify the 6 of Cups. In reverse. The Lovers. Okay, so it's talking about a union or a reunion with the Lovers, and it could be an actual lover, okay? You don't know where you really stand with this lover. So, and it talks about making a choice. There's a dilemma, and you have to make a decision. Something's going to change your plans, okay? It may seem negative at first, but it's going to be a blessing in disguise. And just also examine your motives. Like with the King of Cups, if that's you, this person's in denial about their motives. And here's a saying, examine them. And also seek some assistance or guidance before you make a decision. Because there's a definite right and wrong choice here. If it's about love, the angel Raphael or the Cupid in here, he's giving the blessing of protection for the relationship. Also, you're strong in your beliefs. What you believe, you feel it's right and you feel it's important. Could be a soulmate. But there's some kind of a sacred bond. It could be just the joining together of somebody at work. A duality. Maybe somebody's two-faced, which I definitely see that if it's in the work environment. All right, let's clarify this Seven of Cups upright. The Wheel of Fortune upright. Okay. So when I see the Wheel of Fortune upright, I think really good things. Talks about taking action now. So yeah, like you have a choice to make, but there's probably lots of options and you're not sure what to do. Justice says make a decision. Wheel of Fortune says make a decision now. And it's whether or not to join. Okay. You may make a decision too hastily because here you don't know what's best for you, but you have to make a decision. And so it looks like maybe the decision you make may end up being the wrong one. But see, when you have the World and you have Justice, it doesn't matter if it's upright or not. It says like the world's just going to work out in your favor. Okay. That's just how it works for you anyway. Okay. So everything's going to work out in your favor, especially the work life, because you have Justice on your side. So you're right about something, even if people don't think it. But not everybody's going to feel that way. Okay. There's going to be somebody in your corner. But with the Wheel of Fortune, it can say you're not getting knowledge about yourself, because here you don't really know yourself. Maybe you have a lot of things to think about and you're not really getting to know yourself. If you are going for a partner, they're going to renew you. Because we talked about the World says, go back to judgment for that transformation. So maybe you're going to join with them and get renewed, but then maybe it doesn't happen. This also says, you can't plan a soulmate meeting, okay? If you're planning on it, you can't do that. Also, it could be you're temporarily single. Like maybe you decide you don't know what to pick, so you decide not to make a decision. And that's why maybe you could be just stagnant. So you have temporary singlehood or temporarily unemployed. But you're going to have an end to an old way of life. You're going to join and get something else. But this, like the old way of life, this talks about limiting beliefs. So you had an old perception, possibly of yourself, as not being as successful, or just some kind of an old belief, and it was limiting you. But this talks about you're going to end that old way of thinking or that old way of life. Also, if you have a soulmate coming in, they might be from a different country. And this talks about soulmates again, yeah. You're unable to forget someone. Yeah, like the universe is making decisions. They're matching you up with somebody or some job. But yeah, take action now, okay? Let's clarify the Three of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. Okay. And it's right next to the World. And when the World is with the Ace of Cups, it says you're going to have new emotional satisfaction. Okay? Even if it's reversed or not, it doesn't matter. They just have to be together. Or maybe if it is in reverse, maybe it means you're not getting that new emotional satisfaction that you wanted. We did talk about how something lost its appeal, like a long-held dream. The Ace of Cups is upright, so it's almost always good. Or at least that's your hope. Maybe an offer of love, and that's your hope. I just dropped like 30 cards. I don't know where they went. Oh, okay, they're right here. Wow. Was that one card? It felt like 30. But it was Six of Swords upright. And that talks about like a radical change, an upcoming new environment, traveling, and like the World can talk about traveling. Troublesome phase is ending, like there's harmonious movement. Could be taking like a journey by water. And if it's about love, you're just kind of watching from a distance for now. Like you haven't made a decision just yet, but because you have too many choices, or you're just indecisive. And so you're either watching a lover or a work job. situation. You're just going to see if it's like watching from a distance and see if it's going to have potential. So you could be unemployed and just watching something. When this plays off the Lovers, it talks about being lonely and separated. This also says, if your love interest, they like you, but they're not going to admit it unless they're 100% sure of how you feel. Yeah, some kind of radical change. You're going, also you probably could be going into like a more calm future. Because this is where there's choppy waters and they go into calm waters. And you could just want to go into the past, like with the reunion of an old lover. I don't know where to put that. I wasn't clarifying it. So let's think about Ace of Cups, because that's what actually came out before that fell. It talks about abundance, love, a love offer could be. You're on the right path, about romance or some kind of a new offer or relationship. Talks about reconciliation again. There's a lot of reconciliation in here. And it says you're ready to receive love. There's like a new exciting phase coming up. And you just have to trust your inner knowing. Talks about, creativity. And here, we had like stifled creativity. Or over here, actually. All right, let's clarify this world in reverse. The Fool. Okay. So you're going to take a new opportunity. Or maybe you're scared of the success you have. Like you have fear of all the responsibility that's coming upon you. And you're scared to take that leap. This is saying take the leap, okay? Like it's not foolish to take the leap. There's a new beginning. A lot of these have new beginnings in here, okay? So maybe after you go through this stagnation, you're going to have a new beginning. And then we do have that, reconciliation. Could go back to a previous job. Maybe somebody wants you back after you've been let go. It just says, follow your heart. You're dependable. And talks about freedom, change, and adventure. So maybe you decide to go out on your own and leave this job. It could be actually going out on your own and not picking somebody. Okay. You might go into business for yourself. Let's clarify this Five of Cups in reverse because we also have it upwards in a little while. I'll pick from the top so I don't look at it. King of Swords upright. Okay, at least it's not in reverse. That's good news always. All right, so King of Swords upright talks about judgment. Then the very next card, the card right before it said go back to judgment, and here we have judgment. So there's some kind of judgment going on. Talks about a well-educated person, which I believe is you. Also talks about weighing the pros and cons, probably of a relationship. And you have to just talk about where you stand because somebody is too critical of you. And it could be you're too critical of yourself because you are a well-educated person. Like your job, we talked about how they're judging you with the Three of Pentacles. Maybe it happens again. But, this Five of Cups in reverse was talking about success, and then you have a culmination of that success. And also it says, just be wary of displaying too much emotion, perhaps. And we all know, like, emotion's not something that's needed in the work environment. It's already hard enough as it is. Here we talked about how you lost some success and maybe you have to start over from scratch. Because, the world and the Fool, like, after the world goes back up, right, after this cycle's completed, then you start back again at the Fool. So maybe you had to start over from scratch. Or you feel like you had to because, the success you wanted, there was like one more hurdle. Let's see, the world and the Fool go together. Like you're going to have total control and total freedom, which is good. I think you might be leaving something and you're going to have control now. If you do, especially if you go into business for yourself, you may have to start from scratch. But then you have the King of Swords, which means, you're well educated, you can take care of yourself. And you're going to stop trusting people as much. I also talk about legal action. So there could be a judgment about legal actions. We have 2 legal action cards. Let's clarify this Nine of Pentacles because it was good. What's the culmination about? Death in reverse. So the culmination talks about not changing. Something stagnant. Maybe after you've had this culmination, you don't keep changing. You just kind of stay the same. You rest on your laurels. You rest on the achievement. And that's why you get this. I can see that. Something's not ending either. Like this person who's judging you and being critical, it's not ending. Clarifying the Six of Wands in reverse. We got the Magician. Okay, at least he's not in reverse because that's a really manipulative person. But it's upright. So it says, you're in control of your reality, okay? If you need to make a change, you need to make a change. If you need to keep working, work. This says, take action. Don't wallow in anything. Don't hesitate. You're going in a positive direction. Give it over to God. Because you're fully in control of your work. You're fully in control of your reality, your love life. You're it, okay? And it says just, you need to focus. We have this a little bit of indecision here. Be intentional. Don't live on default. And, if you're looking for a partner or the right job, just work on being the best worker or work on being the best partner, and you're going to attract exactly what you want. Okay? So that's good. All right, let's clarify this Chariot in reverse and the Five of Cups upright. What is that about? Judgment in reverse. So we finally got Judgment in here. So it says return to Judgment, but Judgment's actually ahead of you. It comes after the World. So let's think about Judgment. There were a few cards that worked with Judgment. I'm just trying to think about what they were. Okay, Judgment in reverse talks about there's some kind of a decision or sentence. It could be like related to court. And there's no transformation. We got a lot of no transformation going on, like stagnation. Somebody's not making a decision. Or decisions are just not in your favor. Again, talks about poor judgment. You can't get a verdict. And you're running away from a bad love situation. Or you're running away from the idea that, yes, this is a bad work environment. Yes, this is a bad love situation. But you're like ignoring it. You're using poor judgment. And I think it's because you don't feel good about yourself. Whether it's you're going to stay at a bad job or you're going to stay in a bad relationship. And remember, this relationship and this job are it's a very bad environment, okay? It's draining you, it's abusive. It could be emotional abuse, like being too critical. Somebody's too critical of you, they're always criticizing you, they're judging you. And that decision you made, I think it was to stay. Yeah, this says, don't weigh the pros and cons anymore. Just get out and leave and you'll be happy. Some of these cards go with Judgment. I know the World does for sure. Or maybe it's the Wheel of Fortune. They're so close together. Yeah, it says with Judgment, whatever happens, whatever decision's made, it's absolute, it's final. And I think you need to make that final decision. I think that's you making the decision. But with the Fool, because you do have the Fool, thank God, you're going to be immune to anything that's bad, okay? So, if somebody lets you go, you're going to be immune to any bad decisions. You might go into business for yourself. Or just start over at a new job from scratch, but, you're going to be all right. Let's see if Judgment goes with anything else. I would think Judgment and Justice would go together. It could be you're getting a harsh judgment, but you're going to be immune to it. Let's further clarify this Judgment. The two cards fell out. Three of Swords in reverse and Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, so Three of Swords talks about the end of heartache. So talks about healing. You understand who you should go for. If for love interests or for jobs, you understand where you need to head. It's like a permanent separation, permanent breakup. But you're going to recover. So here at first, you weren't recovering, but you will, okay? Because you're immune to the bad effects of whatever's happening. Also says, the other options that you had aren't present anymore. It also says with the world in reverse, you might lose somebody that you love. I don't know if that's about death or just in a relationship, but I thought I would mention that. It says don't do anything you might regret, because there could be some confusions or loss. And apologies may be needed. I don't know if that's for you or from someone else. If you were in some kind of a love triangle, like the Three of Pentacles suggests, you're coming out of it. If you couldn't figure out who to choose or somebody else couldn't, those options aren't going to be there anymore, and you're going to heal. You could just be like temporarily anxious. And then we have the Four of Cups in reverse. So it talks about being afraid of being alone, especially if those options aren't there anymore. You were settling before. And depression could affect your love life. This just says, relax, seek some kind of an outlet so you can restore your self-esteem. And just hang out with your friends. They're going to help open up your life. And if you've been seeking pleasure only, it's just not really satisfying you. And you're finally going to realize that this man or this job, it wasn't right for you. You kept settling, but they just weren't meant for you. So it says you're going to have to break up with them or leave your job in order to make room for what is good for you and what is meant for you. Let's draw some clarifiers for what would be coming up. Okay. Page of Pentacles. Okay, new job. So you're going to leave something eventually. You're finally going to get a realization, and you're going to leave a job and you're going to get a new job. Yay. If it's about relationships, I don't usually see this for relationships, but if it is, you're going to get a new relationship. Like this is a message or an offer. But it says you have to remain focused, okay? Just like the Magician said. You're going to have opportunities for money. It's usually about business news, okay? And your advice is to relax, lighten up, so you can reload and actually get out there and do stuff and not just kind of relax or rest on your laurels, And if you have to go and be an apprentice again, you have to start over from scratch as the Fool. Don't shy away from it, okay? Because it's going to be an opportunity to be successful after gaining some new skills, and you're going to further your skills or your study. So maybe you do have to go back to school for something. Like maybe this person was right, but they just didn't give you the information in a positive way. And so you kept seeing yourself poorly, like you weren't seeing the good things about yourself and they were being so critical. And so you may end up going back to school or just getting a different job that helps you work on those things. Like instead of criticizing you and making you feel bad about yourself, they're actually going to work with you. And they're going to make you better, and they're going to do it in the right way. Okay. I think that's about love as well, if you think about that. But let's pull a card specifically for love. Okay. I don't know what that was about. They usually have to feel like butter before they're ready to come out. So what's something that the Libras can know about love? If this is about love for some people. I really feel it's about business. These cards are not ready for you. I must not be shuffling right or something, because the right card is not coming up. Okay. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so if it's about love, or you can see this also about business, something's not worth the investment. So if it's about love, this other person's not worth the investment. Here, you have unrequited love. Here, it's not unrequited. So you could be getting a love that you've been wanting. See, this talks about you're very concerned and very worried. Could be about, infidelity. And it says if you have the Seven of Cups, which you do, that you have reason to be worried. Okay? So this love person, you need to drop them like a bad habit, okay? I mean, they are your bad habit. And also you're afraid of failure and losses. And it talks about losing an opportunity. So this could still be about business too. Because this talks about, losing a promotion or an opportunity. So you could lose an opportunity if you're not willing to invest in it. Maybe you're not invested in something. It could be that you're making some careless mistakes. Something's not your priority. You're not investing in it. And if you hesitate, it's going to bring regret. So maybe it is worth the investment, but you're just not acting like it is. With the Five of Wands and the World, it talks about you may be able to avoid some troubles. Okay. But just see what happens. You don't hesitate, just kind of get your bearings about you. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so this tells me somebody's just not being fair, somebody's biased, or they're not being very generous. Here, there could be biased, and here maybe you're being objective now. You're seeing things for what they really are. Yeah, I can see that. Two of Swords in reverse. So something's false. You feel like you're caught between something. It might be a lose-lose situation. Not addressing an underlying issue. But it says you're going to resolve your differences. You're going to be released, but be cautious. Don't be on the fence. Don't be indecisive. Just watch out for disloyalty and somebody being false, because you could be being lied to. And you probably don't want to see it, or you're not able to see it. But I think you're just being lied to. Now, if that's for business or love, only you're going to really know that, because I can't tell the difference anymore. Three of Wands in reverse. I usually pull it in reverse. So it talks about, again, obstacles to your goals, delays, not planning ahead, not taking a leap of faith. You haven't accomplished, your goal, your journey's goal. So you have some disappointment, and you feel like you may be wasting your time. But these setbacks that you're having are going to set you up for something, okay? Like it's a blessing in disguise or an opportunity in disguise, like we talked about. It could be like somebody's not cooperating with you and you're having bad luck in business. And again, like you're not able to pursue some goals that you wanted to with a lover. And you don't want to move long distance or anything like the World might indicate. But like your partner may want to move. And you're not up for that. And if you have some plans, you're struggling to put them into action. Let's pull a romance card for people who are in romance. Okay. Yeah, new love. And since this could be a business as well, it could be a new job. Yeah, so go for a new love. Don't go for an old one. Don't reconcile with somebody, okay? Because maybe the person, your new love, is going to be your soulmate. Put that over there on top of the Lovers. Or it could be somebody you thought was your soulmate from the past, really wasn't. And you're getting a new love coming in. And not necessarily a soulmate. You're just getting a new love and somebody turned out not to be your soulmate. But That would just mean that you weren't thinking correctly. Not that they were your soulmate. I thought they were your soulmate, but maybe that's what you were thinking too. In reverse. Okay, so yeah, they weren't your true love. But you're getting a new love, so that's good, right? That just helped clarify what I was questioning. Is there anything that these romance cards could bring about for business information? I don't think you're going to be flirting at work, because I remember telling you not to do that. So it could just talk about, be lighthearted. Don't be so serious. Don't take what somebody says to heart, too. Let's just see what this is. Maybe somebody's not engaging, or you're not engaging in the work environment. Or you're not going to that higher level of commitment, whether for love or business. All right, I'm going to use my regular deck for clarification. I like it so much more. All right, let's just clarify the overall reading, because I don't know what to clarify. There's just way too many cards now. This will be like the longest reading ever. Because I'm trying to get romance and business out of here. Basically, guys, if you're in a bad environment, don't even weigh the pros and cons. Just leave, okay? And then don't just kind of rest on your past successes. Keep furthering your skills, okay? And if somebody's judging you, then don't even worry about them. All right, let's clarify the whole reading. What's like an overall that we could get for love and business? Because I don't want to do separate again. Okay. I'm trying to see if I should look at the bottom or the top. Maybe I'll just do both. I love cards. Okay, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It tells me somebody's not holding back. And they're not being very responsible or determined. And it could be like an immature man. This person's not ambitious. And there's also no peace going on. There's restriction. Some kind of carelessness or hesitation, and there's no goals. There's, again, stagnation, discouragement. Somebody's not devoted. Okay, let's look at the bottom. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So this tells me that you're not going to have that long-term happy relationship with that person, which is good because, they seem like they're abusive, but you're going to get a new love, so don't even worry. You're also going to get a new job with the Page of Pentacles, so don't worry, guys. Everything's positive here. You're just going to have to get out of the negative first. You could not want to leave a job or relationship because you have so much history, but history means nothing if it's, keeping you unstable emotionally. Think of Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And just, you're not going to have that long-term with this job or this relationship. It also says, extract yourself out of the situation. Okay. Anything else? I want to get a little bit more on that Ten of Pentacles because that was all I could think about for it. There's more, I'm sure. I'm just not getting it. Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, so I think we had this before in reverse as well. So, it talks about being alone, depression's affecting your love life. You can't, you need to accept the good in life. You understand that this is not right for you and you need to get out to make room for what's good for you. So you're going to get new love and a new job. Or for those who are looking for jobs, you're going to get one. If you're looking for love, you're going to get it. But you're going to have to end this bad cycle first, okay? And hang out with your friends. They're going to help you out. They may lead you to this new love interest. They may know about a job. But again, just relax. Work on your self-esteem because somebody really did a number on it. And then just get to work. Further your studies. Further your skills. Because you seem to get your self-esteem from your work life. Or from being in a union. So work on those things. Be that partner that you want to be. Be that worker that you want to be. And then you're going to attract that job, that new love. All right, Libras, that was your reading for March 2017. I hope I didn't utterly confuse you. Let me know how it resonated for you. If it didn't resonate, if you're looking for love look at your reading for your Venus sign. And let's see, for business, I would say look at your Saturn, where Saturn is in your chart when you were born. And that'll tell you probably what sign to look for. I did pull from the Bible. I keep forgetting to look at the Bible things because I don't do those very often because they're almost always they almost always fall in the bind, and that means nothing. But I did my little thing, and it landed in the, this is the Torah, which is like the Old Testament Hebrew Bible. And but anyways, this fell in the Ketuvim, which is Proverbs, and well, it's one of the Proverbs. It's one of the writings. It was Proverbs 10, and it started at verse 3. And so I'll just read a few lines because they all go together instead of being separated into like stanzas like a regular Bible. So I'm just going to read a few lines, the ones that seem to really go together. So it says, "The Lord will not let the righteous go hungry, but he denies the wicked what they crave. Negligent hands cause poverty, but diligent hands enrich. He who lays in stores during summer is a capable son, but he who sleeps during the harvest is incompetent." So I think it's just saying, don't get lazy or complacent in work environment, and you'll be all right. You won't run into too many troubles. Remember, you have the Fool, so any absolute changes that are going to happen, you're going to be immune. You're going to be all right, okay? All right, be happy, Libras.